Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start doing this in the morning when I do my daily devotionals, the Bible Worldwide, because we're never going to get through it if we don't go ahead and just work on it. So let me get this pulled back up. We are in 1 Samuel chapter 9, and I'm going to see if I can get this to play. Yeah, there it is. We're in an NIV version. It's easier to understand because we don't speak Old English. I had a friend who lives in England, and she explained that there is a difference because she speaks English and Old English, and so the way that they spoke then is a little different. So we're going to do it the easy way because I do what I do to reach the people who haven't really read a whole lot. In my opinion, you have to graduate to King James. So let's get to understand what it is first, and then we can move into King James and try to compare the two and better understand the Old English, I guess. Because the quotable is, everybody goes by King James. It's just the way it is. But, again, it's important that we try to do this. Now, I haven't used this app before, so I'm going to try to read for at least 45 minutes. But I know that it did a 25-minute one the other day. I was super excited. So I love finding new apps that help me to bring the Word of God to people through video, because people are busy. You know, they don't have time to read the Bible. And so this, in my opinion, is a little bit of a Bible study, what we're doing in the Bible Worldwide. So it's just to help people through, to add to their day. And we appreciate you being here. So let's go ahead and get started. I do have like a little ice machine. Since I've been sick, I'm having to drink a lot more liquid. And so I have an ice machine in my room, and that's what you're hearing in the background. So I apologize ahead of time, but it's there for a reason. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here and listening. Let's go.
Chapter 9. There was a Benjamite, a man of standing, whose name was Kish, son of Abiel, the son of Zeror, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah of Benjamin. Kish had a son named Saul, as handsome a young man as could be found anywhere in Israel, and he was a head taller than anyone else. Now the donkeys belonging to Saul's father Kish were lost, and Kish said to his son Saul,
"Take one of the servants with you, and go and look for the donkeys."
So he passed through the hill country of Ephraim, and through the area around Shalisha, but they did not find them. They went on into the district of Shalem, but the donkeys were not there. Then he passed through the territory of Benjamin, but they did not find them. When they reached the district of Zuph, Saul said to the servant who was with him,
"Come, let's go back. My father will stop thinking about the donkeys and start worrying about us."
But the servant replied,
"Look, in this town there is a man of God. He is highly respected, and everything he says comes true. Let's go there now. Perhaps he will tell us what way to take."
Saul said to his servant,
"If we go, what can we give the man? The food in our sacks is gone. We have no gift to take to the man of God. What do we have?"
The servant answered him again.
"Look,"
he said,
"I have a quarter of a shekel of silver. I will give it to the man of God so that he will tell us what way to take."
Formerly in Israel, if someone went to inquire of God, they would say, "Come, let us go to the seer," because the prophet of today used to be called a seer.
"Good,"
Saul said to his servant.
"Come, let's go."
So they set out for the town where the man of God was. As they were going up the hill to the town, they met some young women coming out to draw water, and they asked them,
"Is the seer here?"
"He is.
They answered.
He's ahead of you. Hurry now. He has just come to our town today, for the people have a sacrifice at the high place. As soon as you enter the town, you will find him before he goes up to the high place to eat. The people will not begin eating until he comes, because he must bless the sacrifice. Afterward, those who are invited will eat. Go up now. You should find him about this time."
They went up to the town, and as they were entering it, there was Samuel, coming toward them on his way up to the high place. Now the day before Saul came, the Lord had revealed this to Samuel.
"About this time tomorrow, I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin. Anoint him ruler over my people Israel. He will deliver them from the hand of the Philistines. I have looked on my people, for their cry has reached me."
When Samuel caught sight of Saul, the Lord said to him,
"This is the man I spoke to you about. He will govern my people."
Saul approached Samuel in the gateway and asked,
Would you please tell me where the seer's house is?
I am the seer.
Samuel replied.
Go up ahead of me to the high place, for today you are to eat with me, and in the morning I will send you on your way, and will tell you all that is in your heart. As for the donkeys you lost 3 days ago, do not worry about them. They have been found. And to whom is all the desire of Israel turned, if not to you and your whole family line?
Saul answered,
But am I not a Benjamite from the smallest tribe of Israel? And is not my clan the least of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin? Why do you say such a thing to me?
Then Samuel brought Saul and his servant into the hall, and seated them at the head of those who were invited, about 30 in number. Samuel said to the cook,
Bring the piece of meat I gave you, the one I told you to lay aside.
So the cook took up the thigh with what was on it and set it in front of Saul. Samuel said,
Here is what has been kept for you. Eat, because it was set aside for you for this occasion, from the time I said, I have invited guests.
And Saul dined with Samuel that day. After they came down from the high place to the town, Samuel talked with Saul on the roof of his house. They rose about daybreak, and Samuel called to Saul on the roof.
Get ready, and I will send you on your way.
When Saul got ready, he and Samuel went outside together. As they were going down to the edge of the town, Samuel said to Saul,
Tell the servant to go on ahead of us.
And the servant did so.
But you stay here for a while, so that I may give you a message from God.
Chapter 10. Then Samuel took a flask of olive oil and poured it on Saul's head and kissed him, saying,
Has not the Lord anointed you ruler over his inheritance? When you leave me today, you will meet 2 men near Rachel's tomb, at Zelzah on the border of Benjamin. They will say to you, The donkeys you set out to look for have been found. And now your father has stopped thinking about them and is worried about you. He is asking, What shall I do about my son? Then you will go on from there until you reach the great tree of Tabor. 3 men going up to worship God at Bethel will meet you there. One will be carrying 3 young goats, another 3 loaves of bread, and another a skin of wine. They will greet you and offer you 2 loaves of bread, which you will accept from them. After that you will go to Gibeah of God, where there is a Philistine outpost. As you approach the town, you will meet a procession of prophets coming down from the high place with lyres, timbrels, pipes, and harps being played before them, and they will be prophesying. The Spirit of the Lord will come powerfully upon you, and you will prophesy with them, and you will be changed into a different person. Once these signs are fulfilled, do whatever your hand finds to do, for God is with you. Go down ahead of me to Gilgal. I will surely come down to you to sacrifice burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, but you must wait 7 days until I come to you and tell you what you are to do.
As Saul turned to leave Samuel, God changed Saul's heart, and all these signs were fulfilled that day. When he and his servant arrived at Gibeah, a procession of prophets met him. The Spirit of God came powerfully upon him, and he joined in their prophesying. When all those who had formerly known him saw him prophesying with the prophets, they asked each other,
What is this that has happened to the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets?
A man who lived there answered,
And who is their father?
So it became a saying, Is Saul also among the prophets? After Saul stopped prophesying, he went to the high place. Now Saul's uncle asked him and his servant,
Where have you been?
Looking for the donkeys.
he said.
But when we saw they were not to be found, we went to Samuel.
Saul's uncle said,
Tell me what Samuel said to you.
Saul replied,
He assured us that the donkeys had been found.
but he did not tell his uncle what Samuel had said about the kingship. Samuel summoned the people of Israel to the Lord at Mizpah, and said to them,
This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought Israel up out of Egypt, and I delivered you from the power of Egypt and all the kingdoms that oppressed you. But you have now rejected your God, who saves you out of all your disasters and calamities. And you have said, No, appoint a king over us. So now present yourselves before the Lord by your tribes and clans.
When Samuel had all Israel come forward by tribes, the tribe of Benjamin was taken by lot. Then he brought forward the tribe of Benjamin, clan by clan, and Matri's clan was taken. Finally, Saul, son of Kish, was taken. But when they looked for him, he was not to be found. So they inquired further of the Lord.
Has the man come here yet?
And the Lord said,
Yes, he has hidden himself among the supplies.
They ran and brought him out. And as he stood among the people, he was a head taller than any of the others. Samuel said to all the people,
Do you see the man the Lord has chosen? There is no one like him among all the people.
Then the people shouted,
Long live the king!
Samuel explained to the people the rights and duties of kingship. He wrote them down on a scroll and deposited it before the Lord. Then Samuel dismissed the people to go to their own homes. Saul also went to his home in Gibeah, accompanied by valiant men whose hearts God had touched. But some scoundrels said,
How can this fellow save us?
They despised him and brought him no gifts. But Saul kept silent. Chapter 11. Nahash the Ammonite went up and besieged Jabesh-Gilead. And all the men of Jabesh said to him,
Make a treaty with us, and we will be subject to you.
But Nahash the Ammonite replied,
I will make a treaty with you, only on the condition that I gouge out the right eye of every one of you, and so bring disgrace on all Israel.
The elders of Jabesh said to him,
Give us 7 days, so we can send messengers throughout Israel. If no one comes to rescue us, we will surrender to you.
When the messengers came to Gibeah of Saul and reported these terms to the people, they all wept aloud. Just then Saul was returning from the fields behind his oxen, and he asked,
What is wrong with everyone? Why are they weeping?
Then they repeated to him what the men of Jabesh had said. When Saul heard their words, the Spirit of God came powerfully upon him, and he burned with anger. He took a pair of oxen, cut them into pieces, and sent the pieces by messengers throughout Israel, proclaiming,
This is what will be done to the oxen of anyone who does not follow Saul and Samuel.
Then the terror of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out together as one. When Saul mustered them at Bezek, the men of Israel numbered 300,000, and those of Judah 30,000. They told the messengers who had come,
Say to the men of Jabesh-Gilead, By the time the sun is hot tomorrow, you will be rescued.
When the messengers went and reported this to the men of Jabesh, they were elated. They said to the Ammonites,
Tomorrow we will surrender to you, and you can do to us whatever you like.
The next day, Saul separated his men into 3 divisions. During the last watch of the night, they broke into the camp of the Ammonites and slaughtered them until the heat of the day. Those who survived were scattered, so that no 2 of them were left together. The people then said to Samuel,
Who was it that asked? Shall Saul reign over us? Turn these men over to us, so that we may put them to death.
But Saul said,
No one will be put to death today, for this day the Lord has rescued Israel.
Then Samuel said to the people,
Come, let us go to Gilgal, and there renew the kingship.
So all the people went to Gilgal and made Saul king in the presence of the Lord. There they sacrificed fellowship offerings before the Lord, and Saul and all the Israelites held a great celebration. Chapter 12. Samuel said to all Israel,
I have listened to everything you said to me and have set a king over you. Now you have a king as your leader. As for me, I am old and gray, and my sons are here with you. I have been your leader from my youth until this day. Here I stand. Testify against me in the presence of the Lord and his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Whose donkey have I taken? Whom have I cheated? Whom have I oppressed? From whose hand have I accepted a bribe to make me shut my eyes? If I have done any of these things, I will make it right.
You have not cheated or oppressed us.
they replied.
You have not taken anything from anyone's hand.
Samuel said to them,
The Lord is witness against you, and also his anointed is witness this day, that you have not found anything in my hand.
He is witness.
they said. Then Samuel said to the people,
It is the Lord who appointed Moses and Aaron and brought your ancestors up out of Egypt. Now then, stand here, because I am going to confront you with evidence before the Lord as to all the righteous acts performed by the Lord for you and your ancestors. After Jacob entered Egypt, they cried to the Lord for help, and the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, who brought your ancestors out of Egypt and settled them in this place. But they forgot the Lord their God. So he sold them into the hand of Sisera, the commander of the army of Hazor, and into the hands of the Philistines and the king of Moab, who fought against them. They cried out to the Lord and said, "We have sinned. We have forsaken the Lord and served the Baals and the Ashtoreths. But now deliver us from the hands of our enemies, and we will serve you." Then the Lord sent Jerubbaal, Barak, Jephthah, and Samuel, and he delivered you from the hands of your enemies all around you, so that you lived in safety. But when you saw that Nahash, king of the Ammonites, was moving against you, you said to me, "No, we want a king to rule over us, even though the Lord your God was your king. Now here is the king you have chosen, the one you asked for. See, the Lord has set a king over you. If you fear the Lord and serve and obey him and do not rebel against his commands, and if both you and the king who reigns over you follow the Lord your God, good. But if you do not obey the Lord, and if you rebel against his commands, his hand will be against you as it was against your ancestors. Now then, stand still and see this great thing the Lord is about to do before your eyes. Is it not wheat harvest now? I will call on the Lord to send thunder and rain, and you will realize what an evil thing you did in the eyes of the Lord when you asked for a king."
Then Samuel called on the Lord, and that same day the Lord sent thunder and rain. So all the people stood in awe of the Lord and of Samuel. The people all said to Samuel,
"Pray to the Lord your God for your servants, so that we will not die. For we have added to all our other sins the evil of asking for a king."
"Do not be afraid,"
Samuel replied.
"You have done all this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. Do not turn away after useless idols. They can do you no good, nor can they rescue you, because they are useless. For the sake of his great name, the Lord will not reject his people, because the Lord was pleased to make you his own. As for me, far be it from me that I should sin against the Lord by failing to pray for you, and I will teach you the way that is good and right. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things he has done for you. Yet if you persist in doing evil, both you and
your king shall perish, or will perish, sorry. I must have hit something to make it stop. Let's keep going. Chapter 13, or 1 Samuel chapter 13.
Chapter 13. Saul was 30 years old when he became king, and he reigned over Israel 42 years. Saul chose 3,000 men from Israel. 2,000 were with him at Michmash and in the hill country of Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan at Gibeah in Benjamin. The rest of the men he sent back to their homes. Jonathan attacked the Philistine outpost of Geba, and the Philistines heard about it. Then Saul had the trumpet blown throughout the land and said,
"Let the Hebrews hear."
So all Israel heard the news.
"Saul has attacked the Philistine outpost, and now Israel has become obnoxious to the Philistines."
And the people were summoned to join Saul at Gilgal. The Philistines assembled to fight Israel with 3,000 chariots, 6,000 charioteers, and soldiers as numerous as the sand on the seashore. They went up and camped at Michmash, east of Bethaven. When the Israelites saw that their situation was critical and that their army was hard-pressed, they hid in caves and thickets, among the rocks, and in pits and cisterns. Some Hebrews even crossed the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. Saul remained at Gilgal, and all the troops with him were quaking with fear. He waited 7 days, the time set by Samuel. But Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and Saul's men began to scatter. So he said,
"Bring me the burnt offering and the fellowship offerings."
And Saul offered up the burnt offering. Just as he finished making the offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him.
"What have you done?"
asked Samuel. Saul replied,
"When I saw that the men were scattering, and that you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor, so I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering."
You have done a foolish thing,
Samuel said.
You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. But now, your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people because you have not kept the Lord's command.
Then Samuel left Gilgal and went up to Gibeah in Benjamin. And Saul counted the men who were with him. They numbered about 600. Saul and his son Jonathan and the men with them were staying in Gibeah in Benjamin, while the Philistines camped at Michmash. Raiding parties went out from the Philistine camp in 3 detachments. One turned toward Ophrah in the vicinity of Shul, another toward Beth-horon, and the third toward the borderland overlooking the valley of Zeboim, facing the wilderness. Not a blacksmith could be found in the whole land of Israel, because the Philistines had said,
"Otherwise the Hebrews will make swords or spears."
So all Israel went down to the Philistines to have their plow points, mattocks, axes, and sickles sharpened. The price was 2/3 of a shekel for sharpening plow points and mattocks, and 1/3 of a shekel for sharpening forks and axes, and for repointing goads. So on the day of the battle, not a soldier with Saul and Jonathan had a sword or spear in his hand. Only Saul and his son Jonathan had them. Now,
why did it do that again? I'm scrolling up, so maybe I hit something all I can think. Let me go back this way. It won't let you. Let me finish 23. Now a detachment of Philistines had gone out to the pass at Michmash. Chapter 14 of 1 Samuel.
Chapter 14. One day, Jonathan, son of Saul, said to his young armor-bearer,
"Come, let's go over to the Philistine outpost on the other side."
But he did not tell his father. Saul was staying on the outskirts of Gibeah under a pomegranate tree in Migron. With him were about 600 men, among whom was Ahijah, who was wearing an ephod. He was a son of Ichabod's brother Ahitub, son of Phinehas, the son of Eli, the Lord's priest in Shiloh. No one was aware that Jonathan had left. On each side of the pass that Jonathan intended to cross to reach the Philistine outpost was a cliff. One was called Bozez, and the other Sina. One cliff stood to the north toward Michmash, the other to the south toward Geba. Jonathan said to his young armor-bearer,
"Come, let's go over to the outposts of those uncircumcised men. Perhaps the Lord will act in our behalf. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few."
"Do all that you have in mind,"
his armor-bearer said.
"Go ahead. I am with you heart and soul."
Jonathan said,
"Come on then. We will cross over toward them and let them see us. If they say to us, 'Wait there until we come to you,' we will stay where we are and not go up to them. But if they say, 'Come up to us,' we will climb up, because that will be our sign that the Lord has given them into our hands."
So both of them showed themselves to the Philistine outpost.
"Look,"
said the Philistines,
"the Hebrews are crawling out of the holes they were hiding in."
The men of the outpost shouted to Jonathan and his armor-bearer,
"Come up to us, and we'll teach you a lesson."
So Jonathan said to his armor-bearer,
"Climb up after me. The Lord has given them into the hand of Israel."
Jonathan climbed up, using his hands and feet, with his armor-bearer right behind him. The Philistines fell before Jonathan, and his armor-bearer followed and killed behind him. In that first attack, Jonathan and his armor-bearer killed some 20 men in an area of about half an acre. Then panic struck the whole army, those in the camp and field, and those in the outposts and raiding parties, and the ground shook. It was a panic sent by God. Saul's lookouts at Gibeah in Benjamin saw the army melting away in all directions. Then Saul said to the men who were with him,
"Muster the forces, and see who has left us."
When they did, it was Jonathan and his armor-bearer who were not there. Saul said to Ahijah,
"Bring the ark of God."
At that time, it was with the Israelites. While Saul was talking to the priest, the tumult in the Philistine camp increased more and more. So Saul said to the priest,
"Withdraw your hand."
Then Saul and all his men assembled and went to the battle. They found the Philistines in total confusion, striking each other with their swords. Those Hebrews who had previously been with the Philistines and had gone up with them to their camp went over to the Israelites who were with Saul and Jonathan. When all the Israelites who had hidden in the hill country of Ephraim heard that the Philistines were on the run, they joined the battle in hot pursuit. So on that day, the Lord saved Israel, and the battle moved on beyond Bethaven. Now the Israelites were in distress that day, because Saul had bound the people under an oath, saying,
Cursed be anyone who eats food before evening comes, before I have avenged myself on my enemies.
So none of the troops tasted food. The entire army entered the woods, and there was honey on the ground. When they went into the woods, they saw the honey oozing out. Yet no one put his hand to his mouth, because they feared the oath. But Jonathan had not heard that his father had bound the people with the oath. So he reached out the end of the staff that was in his hand, and dipped it into the honeycomb. He raised his hand to his mouth, and his eyes brightened. Then one of the soldiers told him,
Your father bound the army under a strict oath, saying, Cursed be anyone who eats food today. That is why the men are faint.
Jonathan said,
My father has made trouble for the country. See how my eyes brightened when I tasted a little of this honey? How much better it would have been if the men had eaten today some of the plunder they took from their enemies. Would not the slaughter of the Philistines have been even greater?
That day, after the Israelites had struck down the Philistines from Michmash to Aijalon, they were exhausted. They pounced on the plunder, and, taking sheep, cattle, and calves, they butchered them on the ground and ate them, together with the blood. Then someone said to Saul,
Look, the men are sinning against the Lord by eating meat that has blood in it.
You have broken faith,
he said.
Roll a large stone over here at once.
Then he said,
Go out among the men and tell them, Each of you bring me your cattle and sheep, and slaughter them here and eat them. Do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with blood still in it.
So everyone brought his ox that night and slaughtered it there. Then Saul built an altar to the Lord. It was the first time he had done this. Saul said,
Let us go down and pursue the Philistines by night, and plunder them till dawn. And let us not leave one of them alive.
Do whatever seems best to you,
they replied. But the priest said,
Let us inquire of God here.
So Saul asked God,
Shall I go down and pursue the Philistines? Will you give them into Israel's hand?
But God did not answer him that day. Saul therefore said,
Come here, all you who are leaders of the army, and let us find out what sin has been committed today. As surely as the Lord who rescues Israel lives, even if the guilt lies with my son Jonathan, he must die.
But not one of them said a word. Saul then said to all the Israelites,
You stand over there. I and Jonathan my son will stand over here.
Do what seems best to you,
they replied. Then Saul prayed to the Lord, the God of Israel.
Why have you not answered your servant today? If the fault is in me or my son Jonathan, respond with Joram. But if the men of Israel are at fault, respond with Thummim.
Jonathan and Saul were taken by lot, and the men were cleared. Saul said,
Cast the lot between me and Jonathan, my son.
And Jonathan was taken. Then Saul said to Jonathan,
Tell me what you have done.
So Jonathan told him,
I tasted a little honey with the end of my staff, and now I must die.
Saul said,
May God deal with me, be it ever so severely, if you do not die, Jonathan.
But the men said to Saul,
Should Jonathan die? He who has brought about this great deliverance in Israel? Never. As surely as the Lord lives, not a hair of his head will fall to the ground, for he did this today with God's help.
So the men rescued Jonathan, and he was not put to death. Then Saul stopped pursuing the Philistines, and they withdrew to their own land. After Saul had assumed rule over Israel, he fought against their enemies on every side: Moab, the Ammonites, Edom, the kings of Zobah, and the Philistines. Wherever he turned, he inflicted punishment on them. He fought valiantly and defeated the Amalekites, delivering Israel from the hands of those who had plundered them. Saul's sons were Jonathan, Ishbai, and Malchishua. The name of his older daughter was Merab, and that of the younger was Michal. His wife's name was Ahinoam, daughter of Ahimaaz. The name of the commander of Saul's army was Abner, son of Ner, and Ner was Saul's uncle. Saul's father Kish and Abner's father Ner were sons of Abiel. All the days of Saul there was bitter war with the Philistines, and whenever Saul saw a mighty or brave man, he took him into his service. Chapter 15.
Okay, we're going to stop here because It's been about 25 minutes. And I feel like that we do want to keep it kind of short for everybody to be able to finish up. So I'll try to remember and get up in the morning. I get up in the morning every day usually and do a devotional. But I feel like I need to get back to reading the Word. That is the most important thing because it teaches us God's precepts. As you can tell, when we go back through those few chapters that we read, God did not want a king to be over his people. He wanted to be king to his people. So, there's that. And then also, if you noticed how Samuel wanted to make sure that he did not offend the people of God before he gave the reign over to Saul, which I thought was really cool. And I don't think I paid attention to that until this morning. Whenever I've read it in the past. We're in like the 6th season of reading the Bible Worldwide. And I know, that we don't have a lot of people who are committed to it, but I am pretty much committed to it. I enjoy reading the Word of God, and it just starting off my day listening to the Word of God read. And just resonating in the Word of God can actually make my day better. It can make me feel more connected to God, and it helps me to, again, understand His precepts, especially when we get it read to us. There we go. Especially this dramatized version. I really like it. So I found this new app, and that's what I've been using to do this. So we're going to, it's been 30 minutes, so we've done really good. I've probably talked, a little bit of that. So, but we're going to go ahead and finish up, and I will post this so everybody can go back and watch or read it. We're going to plan on trying to do the next version. We're going to try to do, I don't know. I'm still debating on what I want to do with that because I kind of want to do the chronological order, but I feel like that it hasn't been, like we've fallen away from getting in the habit of doing it. So I want to make this more of a habit through the year, reading it normally, front to back, starting at the New Testament and then getting all the way through and starting back at the Old Testament and going back to the New. So I want to do it that way at least one more season. And then season 8, I think we'll do the chronological order. So I appreciate you guys listening. And if you support what I'm doing, please make a comment, share it. Let me know that you are supportive of what we're doing. And we just love that you would give us your prayers that we can continue to do such. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you around the merry-go-round.